So that's why I figured it'd be a good idea to make those two mesh so that we can really work together very well. So what we did there, what I did is try to make some amendments to the code that would allow essentially what we had already been doing and make sure that was a very clear standing. So for public consumption and alcohol purposes, the rule is that this ordinance saying you can't do it in a public place, but there are certain exceptions that are very clear in this version that say it's okay during community events, it's okay during any time there's a license or permit issued by the city to allow it. It also is okay at the farmer's market, and it's okay on a commercial quadricycle. I'm happy to give you that if anyone has a question on what that is. And it's kind of a convoluted explanation how we got there, but the city currently technically allows it. So this just reflects what currently is allowed in the city, just explicit now. And then the park permit situation, I wanted to clean up the park list so that every park is named and has a correct address, and then also clarify how the no trespassing orders work with parks. It was in the lease chapter, but it really should be in the parks chapter, so it's moved up to there. And then on top of that, clarify how park permits are issued, and also clarify that the director has the ability to enact certain rules and temporarily close the park as necessary, and really clarify at what point in time what are the rights of the public to use parks. One of the minor changes was the opening time for parks is going to be 6 a.m. as opposed to sunrise, which is a difficult standard to enforce. And then as far as the policies go in 28, it was just a very old policy that was written in time that I don't think was, the focus was not on drafting good policy back then. This time the policy focuses on basically saying what the director of public works can and cannot do and what we're authorizing that person to do. Before it was talking about what the public could do. We're not going to say under the public the violation of the policy. So it just was clarified, the rules and the policy were moved to the ordinance, and it's refocused. So those are the changes that were made in the ordinance and the resolution. Happy to answer any questions.
Chairman Rote, I have one question, and this is more related to licensing because of the business on National is at Flower and Flame is adjacent to Railroad Park. Part of their extension of premises does extend into that park area. So when it comes to licensing, for example, is that going to be something that would have to obtain if there is alcohol in that area? And that's just specific to Railroad. I'm not sure demographically how that would, or geographically how that would impact any other, park in the area.
I would have to double check to see if their premises, where its permanent premises is.
It's right next door to the...
It's literally right next door, so when they have events, it extends into that park.
Okay, I just want to make sure, though, their permanent premises is in the building?
It's in the building.
Yes. We vacated the alley, which is now part of their extension, but it also goes into the park, and I think at one point we were discussing giving up that space and not keeping it as a park, but...
Yeah, so if I understand the question, then their permanent premises is within their building, but they could at any point in time come to this committee and ask to extend their premises into the park.
Right.
That would be a lawful way of allowing alcohol consumption in the park.
Okay, but they would not need to be issued an additional permit for that then. That could go within that request.
Correct, and that's sort of them just taking advantage of the geography. Not every licensed establishment would be able to do that because they're not directly adjacent.
Exactly. Okay.
They're fortunate that they're there as well.
Right, just clarification going forward. That's all I have.
Alderman Spassky.
So if they want to serve alcohol in the park, all they would do is have to ask for an extension of their premises. They wouldn't have to have a license or a permit to serve alcohol in the park?
Not a separate one. They currently have a permanent license for their building, and just like when there are special events, behind the stars always comes in and has their annual event where they extend to their parking lot, or certain other places extend into the street at times.
Mm-hmm.
This is the exact same principle that they would use their existing license, temporarily expand it for an event or a day or whatever the case may be, and then the next day it goes back to its original premises.
Okay, but they would be charged a fee to extend it or whatever. Okay.
And they'd have to come before this meeting to get approval.
Okay.
On specific dates and times.
Okay, thank you.
Do they have an alcohol license now?
I believe they do.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They're approved.
Okay.
That was just one point of clarification, so I could have probably asked. later too. But
Okay, is there,
I would move to approve.
it's
Second.
been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. We will go down to the resolution part of it. Item 28, Resolution 2023-0002, resolution amending policies related to city parks.
Move to approve.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
We sound so good in unison.
That was good.
Did I hear a second?
They both, yeah, they,
I'll give a second.
yeah.
Honors too.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Okay. Public Safety Committee is called to order. All 5 members are present. We will start with item 32, 2022-1093, new Class D operator bartender application for Stephen Parise. This is a second appearance for Mr. Parise. Is he here?
Madam Chair,
Yes?
we were contacted by him today regarding him having to stay home with a sick child. He also indicated that he was here at the last meeting, but there was no one in the room. So what I could just surmise is that he probably didn't know that we started in the council chambers and then come here. So I guess I would ask that the committee hold this and then we can clarify with him for the next meeting.
I would think that to be
Yeah, that's
fair.
fine.
Any
That would be fair.
objections on that?
No.
Okay, we need a motion to hold.
Motion to hold.
Move to hold. Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, thank you, Rebecca. Item 33, 2022-1094, new Class D operator bartender application for Alicia Makwinski. Second appearance. Is Alicia here? Okay, we need a motion.
Motion to deny
Second.
due to non-appearance.
Okay, all in,
Non-appearances.
You have to give a reason. Non-appearance.
would there be
Oh, and the
non-appearance
police
in
report,
record?
yes.
Okay. And there was a second?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I'm sorry, anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving on. Item 34, 2022-1132, new Class D operator bartender application for Orlin Root Fallman. First appearance. Is Orlin here?
Yes.
Please come forward.
Thank you.
And I usually really destroy last names, so forgive me.
You did it well.
Okay.
Yeah. For a hyphenated one, so.
Okay, Mr.
yeah.
Fallman, you were asked to appear for your bartender application because there were questions regarding some items on your record.
Correct.
And at this time, I'm going to open up the floor to any council member or committee member that has any questions for you. Or if you can bring forward your information and give us kind of an overview regarding your record.
I did make a mistake. I'm 42 years old. A couple years ago now, 2 years ago in October, my grandfather was passing, and I drank and I drove and I got in trouble. So I'm assuming that's what we're here to discuss. I can say for the record that I have held a bartender license since 1999, and I have not had any problems in the municipalities that I have been in. I currently hold one in New Berlin that's active, and I am an active bartender at Senor Luna's. And then I also moonlight at Mary's Caddy Shack in New Berlin. And then I do have, I resigned at La Cage nightclub when they switched owners. I was there for about a year and some change. But I really didn't like their direction that they were going. And I could not work there anymore, given the circumstances. As far as where I'm at now, I just saw I'm going to be working at Lemansky's. I will say that was a lot, and I do know that they had meetings and stuff, and they really cracked down on people, and I wasn't there for that other stuff that I had heard of. It's rather embarrassing to think about. So moving forward, I am wishing them the best. and they are 100% aware of what they need to do better. As far as you are concerned with me, I'm not sure what I can show you. I did bring proof of my operator's license from Milwaukee County. It was granted on a provisional license at first, and then they gave me the license. So I passed that, or City of Milwaukee, sorry about that. And then I do have my City of New Berlin operator's license. I also hold a credential for cosmetologist at a cosmetology establishment in Wisconsin. I currently am a full-time self-employed hairstylist. And then I do have letters of recommendation that I dug up and found, and they're notarized. So I can just assure you that when it comes to handling my license responsibly, when it comes to serving patrons and taking care of them, I am all about that. Not over-serving. My ears are constantly moving back and forth, listening to everything. I'm aware 100% what's going on around me. And that's from years of owning my own business. So I'm hoping that I can get an approval or probationary.
Okay. Do any committee members have any questions?
I do.
Alderman Stefanski.
If I'm reading this correctly, you had an OWI? That's what we're
Correct.
talking about? Did you do the rehabilitation, the class that you had to do?
Yeah, I went to, well, they didn't assign me that. I didn't get the classes. I wasn't that severe of a thing. I guess you either go classes or counseling. So I had to go to counseling.
Okay, and you've completed that already? Okay.
Alderperson Fisher,
Alderman Rowe.
how did you get here tonight?
I got a ride.
Good answer.
All right. Does anyone else?
Madam
have-
Chair.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, Dan, you're through?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, yeah. I'm
Okay.
just-
I was going to ask that same question. You have an extensive record.
Well,
You have indicated you had troubled times, and I can see what you mean by troubled times by reading the record.
a lot of it was from
Times,
2006.
disorderly conduct, 2 OWIs,
No, one.
counseling, you received counseling for rehabilitation, I would say. Is that correct?
Yes.
You've had narcotics.
No,
It says possession and intent to deliver narcotics.
that's not me.
I think you're
You're reading the wrong one.
A few of them
here
are
Okay.
accurate.
I
Orland,
probably
so-
put it in the wrong column. I
Yes.
apologize.
And there is only
Yeah.
one OWI on his record, which would be
207 is a OWI as well, but
No.
that's way
Not
Okay.
me.
ahead of time.
Okay.
Just domestic abuse, you had jail bumping, bail jumping, I'm sorry.
Sure.
Yes. I can see from what you have indicated with the papers that you have come a long way. What other items or what other tasks were you given for rehabilitation?
If you go back to 2006, it was a really bad toxic relationship.
Okay.
I never was in a relationship as such. I was dealing with a rapid cycling bipolar, self-medicated with alcohol, and I got sucked into that spiral. So what you see is one side of it. The bail jumping came from text messages that were non-threatening. Every time I hit enter, I got bail jumping. So in one conversation, I text and I hit enter, it was bail jumping, bail jumping. As far as that, I did go through probation for a 2-year period. And with that, I had to go through AODA classes and then a cognitive intervention class, which basically teaches you how to, if I were to wave at her and I knew her and she didn't wave back, I could be like, I can't believe she didn't wave back to me. Or I could be like, maybe she didn't see me. So it's more of like a balancing thing there. So that was kind of what was offered for that. And then obviously I had to move on from that relationship and learn from my mistakes. As far as drug possession, I never had drug possession, so I don't know what that is about. But my father has the same name, and my dad has Pages, so it could have been easily lost in translation. Yeah, and right now I'm just really trying to like live my best life
Are you
and
currently
be healthy.
working?
Huh?
Are you currently working?
Yeah. Yep, I got the provisional license there, and I work in New Berlin at Senior Luna's. I'm their bar manager. I was there full time, but now I just work one day a week. Their Friday nights I do there for them. So I work there and here, and then Mary's, and then I have my salon I work full time at. So I work there 7 days a week. I just like to switch it up a little bit, and I enjoy bartending and the social interaction. Plus, it feeds my salon, so I get clients. So it's a win-win situation for me.
And vote to approve.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Chair votes aye. Motion passes.
Thank you, Madam and Sir Chairs. All right.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving along, item 35, 2023-0017, new Class D operator bartender application for Brenda Lee. First appearance. Is Mr. Lee here?
Yes.
Oh, you've been patient. Thank you, and welcome.
No problem. I almost did what happened because I didn't know. I almost left.
You went somewhere
I
else.
sent the email and 2 pictures like I was here.
And we have a new committee structure, so I directed someone in the wrong direction today, too.
Okay.
So, Mr. Lee, you heard with the previous person coming forward why you're here. You
Yes.
are requesting a bartender application. However, there were some questions regarding your record, and we'd like to hear from you. So,
Well, for me, I'll never forget the night. It was 2018. One of my buddies was in town from Atlanta, Georgia. He was like open bar. You know, I normally drink, but I got a little carried away this night. Now, although in my mind I was fine, I was driving perfectly fine, but what I've learned, it doesn't matter. The law is the law. That's it, and that's what I need to abide by. I learned a lot. I had to do, 30 days of Huber. I had to do an AODA class as well. Now, the reason I had to do 30 days Huber, it was my first one, but I had a firearm on me as well. Now, I do have my license to carry, but that makes it worse because I knew better. Now, upon completion, I obtained my real estate license. As of today, I'm a real estate broker. I'm also a licensed health and life insurance agent. And I just purchased the old Harry O's. I'm the owner of that building. So I'm just here to get my license. I wouldn't say I had a long journey, but it was a lesson learned. It's something that I don't want to go through. It cost me a lot of money. I also lost my CDL license that I had to re-get. So it's just a process I don't want to deal with. And outside of that, I could have hurt someone, although I thought I was okay. But again, the law was the law, and it's just something I just learned to abide by. So I'm here today to keep moving forward and keep progressing with my life. I'm 31 years old. This happened when I was 25. So I haven't had any problems. I haven't got in trouble. You know, I'm a good person. Just made a mistake. That's all.
okay, well, Mr. Lee, I'm very impressed with your response and your presentation, and I'll open up the floor to any council member that has, or committee member that has any questions for you.
Madam Chair.
Go ahead,
So
Rosie.
you feel you've been rehabilitated?
Yes, I do greatly.
I'm also impressed with your presentation
Thank you.
and what you've tried to do with your life. So I move for approval.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. I
Mr. Lee.
appreciate it.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, and the moment we've been waiting for, item 36 here, 2023-0029, appointment by Mayor Devine of Kimberly Cosby to the Police and Fire Commission to fill the remainder of that position's term to expire May 1st, 2023. Welcome, Ms. Cosby. I've heard wonderful things about you.
Yes, thank you.
I am newer to the council, so one of the reasons you were brought forward is because I really did want to meet you.
Absolutely.
So, raving reviews from everyone else, so I'll give the floor to you and Mayor Devine.
I just was going to introduce her.
You go right ahead.
A lot of you, I think she's already been introduced, but a lot of you know her because she served on the Police and Fire Commission prior. And when Commissioner Herron announced that she was going to be leaving a few months early, I was starting to roll through my mental files of who could possibly serve to complete that term, and then hopefully she'll still want to be with us when the term expires and
Yes.
put her on a full term later this year.
Absolutely.
But I know when she was on initially, she did a wonderful job, and I just hope that you'll give her all the consideration and find that you agree with my opinion, that she'll be a wonderful addition to the group. So,
Thank you, Mayor Devine.
Thank you.
All right. Do any of the committee members have any questions for Ms. Cosby? Would you like to give us a little bit of your background?
I absolutely can. I was born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I work for Harley-Davidson Motor Company. I've worked there for 23 years. 12 of those years was focused on diversity and inclusion. So I brought ERGs, which are employee resource groups, and inclusion councils to the company and developed that framework. And now I still do that in a capacity. Maybe 60% of my job is working with those groups. Now I'm really focusing in on inclusion for the company on a global perspective. And I love what I do. I can talk diversity and inclusion all day long. I have a bachelor's in professional communications from Alverno, and I also wanted to get my master's in diversity and inclusion, but at that time there were no masters in diversity and inclusion, so I have several certificates and registrations, things like that. And finally, I went to school and just received associates about 4 years ago in inclusion in the workplace. So I am really there to navigate our employees, provide a sense of inclusion and belonging for those employees, and to make them feel safe at work. And we have made tremendous strides in doing so. So when I sat on the commission before, we were going into COVID, George Floyd, and I was getting tasked a lot. And I just had to step away and focus in on the job that actually provides a payroll. And there was a direct need for me to be very, very present, and I needed to step away. Sadly, I needed to step away, but I am very, very happy that the mayor called me back to ask me to come back and support the commission.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
I have to say welcome, Kimberly. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yes, and I thank you for coming so our new people could get to know you.
Absolutely.
As we did several years ago when my committee okayed you for this prestigious position. So I would move to approve.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Welcome, Ms. Cosby.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.